Now at 5, the city manager of Fort Scott announces his resignation from the position. Plus, how Taylor Swift wearing a bracelet made by a Joplin business is boosting sales. And
Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson becomes the next House Speaker with unanimous Republican support. I'm Skyler Henry on Capitol Hill with the long list of legislative challenges he's facing.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
the Fort Scott city manager is resigning from his position. This is KOIM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Brad Madkin posted this video on Facebook this morning announcing his resignation. He says he'll continue the duties of his role in addition to helping in the transition of finding a new city manager through the end of the year. He didn't give details for his decision, but said it was for personal reasons. His resignation will go into effect on January 3rd. Results are in after the Allen County, Kansas Sheriff's Office performed a random compliance check of the registered sex offenders living there. That check, conducted last week, finds there are 114 offenders living in Allen County, with 28 more who work there but don't live in the county. During the check, authorities found 26 offenders not in compliance. They say most were, quote, simple things like keeping updated addresses, places of employment, and phone numbers. Another cloudy day out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hidden.
Yeah, we did have some scattered showers out there, mainly during the morning hours. Since that point in time, mainly cloudy skies, and most of the roads are dry. You can look at Joplin. You can also look at Pittsburgh. Temperature is warm, sitting into the mid to upper 70s across the region. That's what we're going to see as we go through the evening hours for us. All right, so a batch of rain heading up toward Kansas City. Here's kind of our next batch that we'll keep our eyes on down through central parts of Oklahoma. But as of right now, not a whole bunch going on, but you can see the rain starting to increase along the I-35 corridor. So if you're going to be outside this evening, yeah, it's going to be cloudy, but temperature is pretty good. Sliding back through the 70s, rain chances increase mainly after midnight. So we're going to be breaking that down for you here in just a bit.
See you soon. Boy, a Joplin business is seeing a sales surge of more than 1,000% in one of their bracelets after star Taylor Swift wore the item. The 12-time Grammy Award winner wore the accessory on Sunday when she watched the Chiefs beat the Chargers at Arrowhead Stadium. The personalized piece had Travis Kelce's jersey, number 87, on it. The owner, Michelle Wilson, says they're friends with Patrick Mahomes' mom, Randy, and that's how Taylor ended up with the Joplin-made bracelet.
She asked if we wanted to gift anything to Taylor that they would be seeing each other, and or if she did see her. And so we just made it up, sent it to her, and made a little arm stack. She only had one on, so we're hoping maybe she'll wear another one this Sunday with a different saying.
This is not the first time Swift has impacted the sales of a Chiefs item. The windbreaker the pop star was sporting in her first appearance at a Chiefs game sold out about 30 minutes after being released. It's taken more than 3 weeks and multiple candidates, but Republicans have united behind one man, and the U.S. House of Representatives has finally elected a new Speaker of the House. Skyler Henry has more details from Capitol Hill.
Therefore, the Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 118th Congress.
Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson accomplished something 3 other nominees before him were unable to do: unite House Republicans and claim the gavel as Speaker of the House.
There's a lot going on in our country, domestically and abroad, and we are ready to get to work again to solve those problems, and we will.
Johnson was able to assume the chair that places him 3rd in line of succession to the presidency. He held on to his conservative principles while still winning over the moderates.
We have to sacrifice sometimes our preferences because that's what's necessary in a legislative body. But we will defend our core principles to the end.
Johnson's record shows he voted against certifying the 2020 presidential election, voted against legalizing same-sex marriage, and in May, he voted against a Ukraine aid package. Johnson's vote against Ukraine aid could be put to the test almost immediately, as President Biden is asking Congress for more than $100 billion to fund the war in Ukraine, provide military aid to both Israel and Taiwan, and strengthen the U.S. southern border.
There's divided support in the Republican conference. I don't think we ought to bring a Ukraine bill that doesn't have majority Republican support. We certainly shouldn't tie it to Israeli aid.
Congress also has about 3 weeks to pass a new spending bill to keep the government open. Several House conservatives are opposed to any short-term deal unless it includes deep spending cuts.
We are honored to have seen Speaker Johnson put out his plan for government funding, and the words continuing resolution are not a part of that plan.
As Speaker, Johnson will have a large say over how the spending bills get passed. No bill can come to the floor without the new Speaker's approval. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, former President Trump, who supported Johnson's candidacy, posted on social media that Johnson will make a great Speaker of the House. Johnson was one of the lawmakers defending Trump during House impeachment hearings. 2 U.S. officials say Israel has delayed its ground invasion, but their rockets continue to pound Gaza in its campaign to get Hamas to release more than 200 hostages. Meanwhile, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees says it doesn't get fuel soon. If it doesn't, it's going to have to cut back relief operations inside Gaza. Still ahead, knowing the signs.
The lesser-known symptoms of breast cancer. I'm Michael George with the warning signs many Americans aren't aware of.
And how listening to music can help reduce the intensity of pain. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A new survey shows that besides a lump, many adults don't know of any problematic warning signs. Well, Michael George has one woman's story about a battle with the disease she was never expecting.
In May 2020, Lisa Overholser was experiencing pain and swelling in her neck and shoulder.
My initial symptoms were some skin changes in my breast. It had gotten kind of just thickened and dimpled. But what really drove me to the doctor was pain in my left arm.
She thought she had a pinched nerve. She was diagnosed with stage 4 inflammatory breast cancer.
I quit breathing. It was just there's no way. I had worked in physical therapy. I thought, I've got this radiating pain, never connecting it to the skin changes in my breast.
Most adults know a lump is a breast cancer symptom, but a survey from the Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center shows they don't know other symptoms, such as a retracted, inverted, or downward pointing nipple, breast puckering, loss of feeling, pitting, thickening of the skin, and discharge.
Knowing what both common and uncommon symptoms are will allow women and men to notify their doctors if there's a change in their breast and to find cancer earlier.
Dr. Ashley Pariser says inflammatory breast cancer can often be mistaken for an infection.
If it's not getting better, it's really important to look at alternative reasons because inflammatory may be one of the reasons.
Lisa's treatment included intensive chemotherapy, surgery, radiation, and a 2-drug oral treatment to try to keep her disease stable.
Once you're stage 4, they never tell you you're cured, but I have no active cancer activity.
She's enjoying spending time with her grandson and urges other women to talk to their doctor if they notice changes in their body. Michael George, CBS News.
Inflammatory breast cancer accounts for only 1 to 5% of breast cancer cases. That's according to the American Cancer Society. But it's important to know your risk and warning signs because it's aggressive and fast growing. Listening to your favorite songs can help reduce pain intensity and unpleasantness. That's according to Canadian researchers. Study participants received moderately painful stimuli on their arm. Those listening to music they liked rated the pain lower than those who heard unfamiliar, relaxing tracks. Also, music with moving or bittersweet themes helped to dampen pain perception. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Jude from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about a cat and its twitching tail.
Plus, we have more rain in the forecast over the next couple days. We're going to look at that coming up. Another cloudy, kind of dreary day for us today. We had some scattered showers, mainly during the morning hours, but since then, just mostly cloudy skies across the region. It's mild though. We're up into the mid 70s for afternoon highs. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo. just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, officially at the airport in Joplin, no rain. I did get a quick shower at my house in Webb City earlier today. For the month, 1.86. For the year 26, about 27, but we're still almost 12 inches behind where we should be. If we look at rainfall, past 48 hours, eastern counties haven't had any. All this kind of light blue is all under a quarter of an inch. But once you get out into our western counties, really from Parsons, Chanute, Fredonia, Yates Center, Iola, a lot of areas a quarter upwards to a half an inch, and we should get at least more widespread rain as we head into the next couple days. Not a whole lot right now. We have some spotty little showers out there trying to pick up just to the west of Independence, Kansas. This is kind of our next band that will start to work in. You can see it from Oklahoma City to the west of Dallas. This will start to lift toward the north and to the east as we go through the overnight hours tonight. But if you're outside this evening, mainly just clouds, we kind of hold into the lower 70s. Look at our temps, 78 in Neosho, 75 in Stockton, 73 in Nevada, Pittsburgh 74, Miami 78, Neodesha is sitting at 74 degrees, even though the clouds a little ominous looking. 77 at 7th and Rangeline, visibility is good. Southerly winds at about 15 to 20. We've had gusts at times about 25 upwards of 30 miles per hour. So it is going to stay breezy as we go through the overnight hours. All right, rain chances bump up late tonight into the morning hours and then taper off the rest of the day, bump up again by the time we head into the middle of the day on Friday. All right, let's work through time. Light showers start to work back in. Here's 10 p.m. Scattered showers through the overnight hours. Here's about 3 o'clock in the morning. They kind of flare up a bit. 6, 7, 8 o'clock, maybe even a few mild thunderstorms across Kansas into Oklahoma. This batch pushes east, so most of the rain is going to be out of the region by noon or 1, and then cloudy skies, kind of mild and breezy like we saw again today, highs into the mid-70s. Tomorrow night, not too much going on, just a lot of clouds, but look at Friday. Here's 6 a.m. A very strong cold front drops in. A few showers along the front, but as we go through Friday afternoon, watch these temperatures tumble. 60s into the 50s. Very strong cold front rolling in for the weekend. All right, rainfall tonight into tomorrow about the noon hour. Not a lot. A lot of areas picking up a quarter, maybe upwards of a half an inch. So there could be some isolated higher amounts. So we'll start the day with some rain, a little bit of sunshine late. High temp into the mid 70s. Once again for us tomorrow, 74s Thursday and Friday. Saturday, some showers. Look at our high, only 58, high of only 44 degrees. That's our high. On Sunday. Hard freeze, 3 nights in a row.
Oh.
We have 3 days with highs in the 40s. I need to move my pumpkin back to Tuesday. He shifted to Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be Halloween.
Yes.
Also, I got to move some plants indoors apparently on
Yeah,
Saturday.
it's not just going to be a little freeze. That's a hard freeze.
Yeah, boy. It's inevitable. Thanks, Doug. Coming up, why the Justice Department is looking into claims about how far Tesla's electric vehicles can actually go on a single charge. Topping today's Consumer Watch, this dated range of Tesla's electric vehicles might not be very accurate. The Justice Department is investigating the EPA's estimates of how far Tesla models can go on a single charge. It comes after Consumer Reports found the Model Y only went 274 miles as opposed to the EPA's stated range of 326 miles. Yeah, more than 50-mile difference. Part of how the EPA calculates its range number comes from data provided by automakers. That means if it's wrong, it can cause legal problems for that automaker. We all create food waste, but it has a devastating effect on our planet. The Environmental Protection Agency says uneaten food is the most common material filling landfills and incinerators. Meg Oliver introduces us to a group who's tackling the food waste problem, bringing fresh produce from the farm to those in need.
Under the baking sun, dozens of people work their way through fields in New York's Hudson Valley.
Did you already search all the way over here?
They aren't trained farmers.
Free of the really small weeds.
Instead, volunteers bringing an ancient practice back to life.
So what are you gleaning today?
We are gleaning several kinds of greens, kale, collards, chard.
Gleaning is the process of collecting leftover food and donating it to people in need. It dates back centuries, but has seen a resurgence in recent years, with nearly 300 organizations spearheading the effort across the U.S.
There's just so much need for nourishing food in the hunger relief system.
Martha Elder leads the way every Monday during harvest season, overseeing volunteers from the nonprofit Second Chance Foods. They pick and wash hundreds of pounds of produce to serve more than 300 families in the area.
On an emotional level, knowing that you're helping feed so many people, what's that like?
Yeah, I sit down to dinner at night with my family, and I appreciate knowing that other people are eating because of the efforts of our organization.
Nationwide, almost a quarter of Americans struggle with food insecurity, yet 1/3 of the food supply is wasted each year. That's more than 130 billion pounds thrown away in grocery stores, restaurants, homes, and even farms.
Everything we send out of our kitchen, we would want to feel proud serving in our own homes to our own guests.
Kitchen volunteers combine collected crops with grocery donations to create more than 1,300 healthy dishes.
People with children, veterans, senior citizens, just so many of our neighbors really struggle with especially nourishing food.
One of those neighbors is 96-year-old Bob Buttiglione. The World War II veteran lives on a fixed income and relies on Second Chance Foods meals distributed from his church.
What does that weekly meal mean to you?
Oh, it means everything. This way I don't have to go out every day to buy my food.
I'm Meg Oliver in New York's Hudson Valley.
Our pet vet on call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at where Hurricane Otis is headed next as it roars to Category 5 status. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on how Taylor Swift is boosting sales for Joplin business. Plus, the Kansas Department of Conservation discusses why turkey hunting season was canceled in the state this year. And a look at when Southeast Kansas High School will begin the playoffs. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Like bats, cats seem to get a little extra attention during the Halloween season, but some of their habits might seem mysterious any time of the year. Today's question for our pet vet on call: what does it mean when my cat twitches her tail?
Well, you know, animals communicate with body posture, ears, and tail. When a cat's tail twitches, they are about to react. Whether it's fear, whether it's aggression, whether it's play, something is about to happen. So if you're doing something to your cat that's annoying it and the tail starts to twitch, I would stop and head for cover.
Run from that cat, I guess you're saying. Hey, thanks for the question. We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. Now, since the Southeast Kansas Humane Society is currently closed as it deals with the case of parvo, both of our picks of the litter this week come from the Joplin Humane Society, and we've chosen a couple of cats. One is an adult female domestic short hair as black as Halloween. Her name is Jinx. The other is more of a pumpkin color, coat and eyes. This domestic short hair is a male kitten, and his name is Mufasa. You can find adoptable pets at local humane societies all across the 4 states. Why not check them out? Kind of dreary weather out there.
Yeah, we're going to have the clouds. We're also going to get some showers trying to work back in here, especially after midnight for us tonight. And then showers lasting through the morning hours, a little bit of afternoon sun, still mild, 74 tomorrow, 74, but dropping on Friday. So once we get into Friday evening, it's going to be into the 50s, and then it keeps going down as we head into the weekend. Rain sticking around, temperatures, first hard freeze right around the corner.
Bring in those plants this weekend. Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.